Live, I think.
Here we go. Welcome to another edition of Friday at 420, coming to you live on Facebook, we think. And we are very glad to be with you on this Tuesday at a little after 4 p.m. So thank you so much for joining us. Got a great show for you. A special guest who's been on the show many a time, and he's back again because we have so much fun with him. And he's coming to us from a new location. So we'll explore a little bit of that as well. Don't forget to like and share this feed if you're watching it right now so that other people will know it's up and it's live and they can check it out. And check us out on any of the streaming services. Previous episodes, Friday at 420. There are hundreds of them to choose from. Let's introduce the panel as we always do right off the top. Let me introduce you to my life coach and mentor, Mr. Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick. How are you, sir?
I'm very good.
We haven't had a good life coaching mentoring session lately. You've been so busy making your little 3D dolls. It's creeping me out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, normally I joke around, but I will be serious this time. If you smoke, quit smoking.
Are you still off the cigarettes?
Yeah, this is day 8 or 9 now.
Eight or 9. Good for you, man.
That's great.
Let me wait a week. Thank you.
You got a week. Woo.
I know.
Are you doing that app that keeps track of how much money and how much time you would have spent smoking?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
cool.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun. It's not really like helping me, but it's it's nice. Like it's cool to keep track of.
But I got to the end of a year once, and it was, and then I looked back at the thing, and it says like I would have literally spent 2 weeks of that entire year standing on a corner smoking.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
In 8 days, there's 13.6 hours not spent smoking.
Yeah.
13 hours just in a week, and I've saved over $130 so far.
To me, it was the time was more important, and I really thought, because when you think about it, because you can't smoke while you do everything like we used to be able to do.
Yeah,
you used to just be able to smoke while I was doing the show, but now you always got to go and purposely sit out of whatever's going on while you have a cigarette, and that's an actual time-consuming waste of your life. So good for you. Good for you, Patrick Coppolino. Who's got a barking dog? What the heck is going on?
Dog.
Okay, all right. We'll let it go this time. Hey, let's say hello to our other panelist who's always here with us, and he's always in such a good mood and upright and feeling all right and drinking Old Milwaukee like the degenerate that we always know and love, Manolis Zontanos.
I realized it's not as cheap. It's like it's really cheap and it tastes fine. So I'm at that point in my life.
What is it?
Old Milwaukee.
Oh, dude, I used to drink that when I went to college because it was like a dollar for two of them.
It still is. Nothing has changed.
Do they still have the girls on the can?
Yeah, there's a girl on the can.
That's what sold it.
It literally says beer on it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's not even real Old Mill. It's knockoff Old Mill. It's even worse.
Go ahead, Manolis.
And I took some medication today that's not mine, so I feel good. Took me a while to kind of like fall into this stuff. It's called the VYVANSE. What's that called, Chris? What's this called? 5M.
Chris, what is your medication called?
What is it supposed to do, Manolis?
What is supposed to make me focus? What? It's for ADHD. It gives you so if you take it, it gives you ADHD somehow.
It gives you high attention deficit.
Yeah.
No, it helps control your ADHD, but that was never one of your problems, Manolis, which is why it's not your medication.
Now it is. This stuff is crazy, dude. It's might as well just call it cocaine in a pill. It's crazy.
Just cleans the entire house.
Come and say hi.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, it's your roommate, Chris Adarante. How are you, Christopher?
It's great. I give Manolis his medication. Entire house.
See, clean the house. Excellent. See, it works. All right. Be safe, buddy.
Something happened, but I think I can get it back.
Do I have to share everything again?
You shouldn't. Fucking Chris ruined it.
Medication.
Hold on. It should still be working. the whole program crashed, but we can keep talking because I think people are watching.
Oh, we're not really sure. There's been some kind of a technical issue, and we're not really sure what's going on.
Yeah, it's working. It's working.
Okay. It's working. All right. I hope you didn't leave. We were right in the middle of talking about Manolis' medication, and then now he's lost interest in us because it's having ADHD.
I thank God I took half. I opened up the pill and I put it was like powder, so I just sniffed half of it, and then thank God I only did half.
ADHD medication. Oh my God.
Well, it was powder, so I just did what I normally do when I see powder.
Well, I'm glad everything's working out for you. Drinking Old Mill and doing other people's medication. Manolis, everything is top notch with Manolis. Let's get to our special guest. He's with us again. We love having him on the show. He's coming to us live from his new apartment in LA. Give it up for Mr. Mayce Galoni.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
Mayce, sorry it took so long to get to you, man. It's just we had to cover all the stuff.
No, it's okay. Huge milestones for everyone.
You look younger.
Thank you. I just hit 9 days of smoking cigarettes.
Nice.
Just started.
Really.
Once you move to LA, man, you gotta get with the hip crowd, right, bud?
Yeah. Trying to get skinny too.
Did you use the book Alan Carr's Easy Way to Start Smoking?
Start smoking.
Yeah.
Mace, I also don't smoke. I quit smoking like 2-3 months ago just because so Pat can't brag that much. And I'll tell you something. Once Pat starts smoking again, I also will start smoking again. Just to rub it in his face.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? I quit masturbating 9,000 times a day. Just so Manolis cannot brag.
I don't believe that from
Mayce,
either of you.
Is there anything that you don't have struggle with that you would like to pretend to quit as well?
You don't think I enjoy cigarettes?
And, yes.
You did just snort someone else's cocaine this morning.
Yeah, he's like, you fucking losers. Anyone can quit smoking. He snorted Adderall this morning.
Before I went to visit my mom at the nursing home. I'm not an animal.
The timing is perfect.
You needed someone else's ADHD medication to focus on your visit with your mom.
I heard you could do it early because that way so I can still sleep at night, you know?
You heard.
Well, I watched a couple YouTube videos.
Excellent. Mayce, is there a vice? Do you have a vice, dude? Yeah, you're like most clean-cut comedian any of us have ever run into. I mean, you must have some kind of a vice.
Yeah, strangling.
Strangling, really?
Yeah. No, it's pretty mundane. It's fast food. It's always been fast food.
Okay. Any particular brand of fast food? Have you discovered some new brands in LA that you're like really hopped up about? Or
there's In-N-Out Burger is crazy and
so good.
Yeah, and also there's this diner called Fred 62. My big problem has been vegan milkshakes. Everywhere here I love milkshakes, but I'm lactose intolerant, and just everywhere here has vegan milkshakes. So it's been like our first trip down, which was like a month and a half, I had milkshakes every day for like 20 days in a row. And now
Are they good?
Yeah. Oh, they're incredible. It's just like oat milk or whatever, but and they still just fill it with sugar and peanut butter and cookies. Yeah, it's
delicious, man.
Oh, it's been incredible.
What makes, I've never been to an In-N-Out Burger. What makes In-N-Out Burger so awesome?
Just like
burger?
Yeah, it's just kind of like a classic fast food burger, but like done a little bit better than McDonald's.
It's like smash burgers, aren't they? And they have like a sauce, a certain sauce that they put on.
Yeah,
they're greasy.
They call it spread. Oh yeah, they're
super
greasy.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Animal fries.
I don't get animal fries because of the lactose thing, but but I get the fries and some. I have ordered a milkshake from a separate location because they don't have them there.
You
mix those two together.
You had me at greasy. All right, let's play our game, everybody, and we're going to get into it with Mayce Galoni here on Friday at 4:20. Thank you for joining us, Mayce. You're first up, so you get to pick a number between 1 and 12.
12.
Oh, he picks the one on top.
Oh,
my God.
is he the
Mace
first one?
wins. Mace wins. Mace wins. It was on top. That
Is
was
there-
always
Psychic.
Yeah, no, there's no actual prize, Mace. Sorry about
Can I get someone else's? Can Manolis mail me more of Chris's medication or something?
that. yeah.
More of.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, more of it.
Yeah.
Man, LA's changed you, man.
All right, Mayce Galoni, your first question on this Friday at 4:20, and that's it's a comedy question, everybody. We haven't done one of these for a while. All right, before you take it public, how do you know a joke is good? I mean, I know you sometimes will get up on stage and try stuff. Before stuff gets to that stage, how do you know it's something worth giving a try to?
That is a good question. I don't know. I feel like just like desperate for new material, so you have to say something new, and
Right.
and like I also like the idea of like putting together like, and this probably isn't good. I feel like good comics will like cushion a new bit in between two solid bits. But I always like the idea of like doing like kind of a batch, like a whole set of loose new stuff, and it never really pays off. But it feels fun to be like, oh, I've got a whole new 10 minutes, and then you do it, and you're like, I've got nothing. I've not maybe one sentence has legs, and that's it. But yeah.
Is it possible? Do you think it's possible over time that you could lose good pieces because you just didn't introduce them well? Because you didn't put them in the right context, and you thought, and you kind of went, no, that didn't work. But yet, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I definitely, I think that, like, I mean, a good bit usually takes some work. So, like, if you, for whatever reason, do it in a way that doesn't give you confidence in it, and then you don't put the work in, you could, throw away something that could be something. But I think for the most part, like, if you're interested in it, you'll put in the work, and then it still might not be funny by the end of it, but yeah, I don't think you'll
try.
Usually, yeah, exactly.
Manoli, what about you? How do you know a joke is good enough to start trying on stage? How do you try it on friends? Do you just, or do you keep it to yourself and just sort of go, you know what, this just feels right?
I normally don't run my jokes by anybody at all, ever, because it's just, I find that most comedians don't care enough to listen. So, you know what I mean? Or just human beings in general. Like, it's just like that. I just deal with it on stage, because that's the only time where I know they're actually listening, because they're there for the show, and I'll just figure it out then. I usually let a bit grow on stage a lot of times. That one time, though, the last little while, I did write a bit out, and it's actually Mayce Galoni's favorite bit of all time, and I'm still working on it.
Of all of stand-up, not like my favorite bit of Manolis's, my favorite piece of material in the world.
And what was different about that one, Manolis? You actually wrote it out ahead of time as opposed to just kind of riffing on the idea?
Yeah. I wrote it all out, and I have to re-put it in my brain again. I know I can get it back, and I'm still working on it. Like, when the first time I tried it, it all worked out from start to finish. Now it's like half of it kills. The first half, it's like, okay. I'm still working on it, but it's like 5 minutes about why staplers are amazing. And so Mayce loves this joke so much that I actually, because I got this house now, and I'm older now, so I actually went through the trouble of making a will in case I die. I have to figure out all this fucking shit goes. But I went through the trouble of making a will. In my will, I put Mayce Galoni, the person that gets this stapler. This is the actual stapler. Look at this.
More important, Manolis, does he also get rights to the joke?
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, of course.
I've already been doing the joke.
Yeah, he's in LA now. He's just
That'd be amazing.
Absolutely. Patrick Coppolino, your turn on this topic. How do you know something? You got a story. I know you like to tell stories. How do you know you got a story that's going to be good enough to get on stage with?
Usually, because a comic, usually Manolis or somebody will say, "Dude, you got to tell that on stage." Like,
you were just telling a random story.
That's how most of the stuff I talk about on stage ends up being on stage, because I'm terrible otherwise. Like, like I don't know. I haven't like sat down to write a new joke in like 5 years. It feels like it's really hard. So like it normally happens when like I'm just talking with other comics, and then usually I don't know how many times Manolis has said, "Dude, you got to use it on stage," and then I end up doing it. But so that's typically how I.
But he's got this one bit he's like taking forever to fucking like tighten up is the bit on penguins.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that one. Do you remember the penguin one?
I remember something about penguins.
It's about like the National Geographic thing I saw about a penguin like
fight
getting caught cheating, and then they fight to the death and stuff. It's funny. It was all real. It was crazy, and I reenacted all of it.
So funny, and it bothers me so much that it's just something. It's just it's just like you've done it like 4 times, I think. But the first time he did it, he destroyed.
I think
like, oh my
Emerson.
God. Yeah, it was at Emerson. I'm like, oh my God, this bit's amazing. You know what I should do? Never do it again. That's what I should do. I should just that's what I should do with this amazing
I'll park that
material.
with all my other brilliant bits. Start again. Well, that was fun. That was very interesting, guys. And I got a follow-up question, but I'm going to save it. We'll get to another topic. So, Manolis, how about you pick a number between 1 and 12?
Okay, so I wrote it down. I'm thinking this is going to be on
All right,
top.
here we go.
8.
9.
Kreskin this thing. 9. Number 9.
Were you thinking 9? No, you.
I said 8.
Yeah. But you're like,
I was thinking.
Well,
He was
that was
thinking
close.
9.
That was close.
He was thinking 9, but
We're trying to figure out if we're psychic. Mace.
so far
I'm
it
always
hasn't
guessing
worked out.
first.
Well, this seems apropos since you're just randomly taking people's medication today, Manolis. Today's topic for you, Manolis, on Friday at 4:20. Do you have allergies?
Yes.
Are you allergic to anything? What are you
Yes.
allergic to? How does it impact you?
I don't know if I got to get more tests done, but it's either wasps or hornets. And I didn't know if it got worse.
Don't
I
tell
had
them they're the same thing.
so years ago I got stung by a wasp or a hornet, and then I got all these fucking hives, and I went to the hospital and they put they hooked me up to like some sort of medication or whatever and got rid of it. I think it was like an EpiPen IV.
Right,
Like you can get, right. So I didn't even know that back. So then the doctor says, you got to fucking, my doctor swears, but you got to fucking get an EpiPen. And if next time it could be worse. So I started buying EpiPens every 2 years because they expire after 2 years, but I don't have a fucking health plan. So I was like spending all this money for years, and I just finally
They're
gave
expensive.
up. Yeah, I gave up. I'm like, fuck it. And then this last summer, I got stung by a bee or a hornet or a wasp. I don't know which one it was. And fucking, I could feel the hives coming. I took some Benadryl, and I took in a shower because I could still feel the itchy. Your asshole gets itchy for some reason, and everything's right. So I'm like, fuck. And I take in the shower, and next thing I know, in the shower, I could feel my throat shrinking.
Oh, no.
I'm like going, are you fucking kidding me?
No, this is how I die.
This is how I die, naked in a shower with an itchy asshole. So I fucking. So I
don't
get
think
it.
they would know that.
I know it.
He'll know it.
So I get in my car and drive to this hospital that's near my house, and I get in there and I tell them what the situation is, and they're like, okay, here's the number, sit over there. I'm like, listen, I'm just gonna be clear about something though. My throat is shrinking, and I think I'm going to faint soon. So I'm gonna let you know that now. So when I fall down, can you guys like help me then?
Right.
And they're like, and then she goes, oh, and then boom, I was in. Fucking thank God. Like they're already like, oh, fucking go over there, wait in line. Yeah, I'm fucking dying, lady. And then they hooked me up with the same shit. So now I got a fucking EpiPen. So
you know what I thought you were going to say when you were like in the waiting room talking to the nurse, and you're like going, my throat is closing up. I'm about to faint. Just remember, if I die, Mayce Galoni gets the statement.
that's why I made the will.
Because the will wasn't done yet.
You know what? The will wasn't done yet. You're right. You're right.
I know. Wow.
And then he dies. They're like, what did he say? I don't know. Something about a baloney stapler?
I mean, Mr. Baloney. All right. Patrick Coppolino, you got allergies, bro? Are you allergic to anything? Other than hard work?
I'm not entirely sure. Well, food wise, I know I'm allergic to asparagus, and I found that out. Remember when we were on the Steel Town Degenerates tour, and I think it was Ottawa, and I was like cooking for all of us because we had a little kitchenette in the hotel, and then I made a bunch of asparagus, and then you guys were all fine, but I was peeing out of my butt for the next 3 days. I didn't realize it then until it happened again, like a few weeks later, and it was in the common denominator was asparagus, and then I realized I looked it up, and that's like a thing. So,
so you don't have the smelly pee, you have the pee out your butt.
Yeah, my pee doesn't even. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that sucks. So is that the only thing though?
That I know of. I don't know. Now that I've got this brand new healthy lifestyle, I started eating differently, and I take multivitamins now. But I noticed when I take the multivitamin, about within 40 minutes of taking it, I get really shaky and lightheaded. Like literally, my hands shake and stuff, and I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Like caffeine or something.
From vitamins.
I'm getting too much of something, obviously, because you take multivitamins, and then when you pee, it's like neon green because that's what your body gets rid of stuff it doesn't need. I don't know if you knew that, but so that was happening. But then there's got to be a certain vitamin that I'm getting like way too much of because
Cut it in half.
I get so shaky and I feel weird. Yeah,
Cut in half. You know what? If I take too much B, I notice my right eye starts to twitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
B vitamin?
Yeah.
Is that to fight off the bees?
I don't know what it is, bro. I know it's liquid, but I still snort it, and by the next thing you know, my right eye gets all weird.
And is it always the eye on the side of the nostril you snorted it? Maybe that's something to do with it.
You know
my god! All right. Well, that's fascinating, Patrick. I've never taken a multivitamin, so I don't have any of those experiences. But
and for the record, I do not snort my multivitamins.
No.
You haven't lived, bro.
You fry them up with your asparagus.
Yeah.
Hey, Mayce Galoni, what about you, brother? You're lactose intolerant, so that's an allergy, is it not?
Yeah, I don't. I guess so. I don't know what that is. Definitely that. Definitely, like I have like all the like ragweed and dust, like seasonal allergies, pretty bad. But then I also have a theory that I'm allergic to. And no one backs me up on this, but sunlight. I think there's a chance. Because I knew my babysitter when I was a kid was allergic to sunlight. So I know it's possible. And whenever I get a sunburn, it's so bad. And it stings in my bones. And everyone else just tells me that I'm just weak and just not, I'm not handling it well. But I think it's an allergy.
Dismissive.
Yeah. I Googled it one time. It's called hell itch. I think it's real.
So hell itch is the sunburn part of it, right? It's a more aggressive itch, right? Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
because the people who are allergic to sunlight, though, like they can't. It's not about sunburns. They can't even go out in the sun.
Well, I haven't done that much research. I'll be honest.
Nice.
You know what? There's a number of people in the community in Prince George, BC, because it gets the least amount of direct sunlight of any Canadian community. And so there are a number of people who are allergic to sunlight who actually live in Prince George, BC, because that offers them the greatest protection.
Why not just stay inside?
Well, they do, but they do want to go outside, and so because it's cloudy there more often than not, that's a good place to live.
Neighbors,
but you moved to LA, which is like the sunniest place.
Neighbors, why don't you tell Mace about my my invention that he can do to get sunlight another way?
That's right.
Manolis, you're saying this like I wasn't investor number one that you pitched to. I've heard about are you talking about the clamp?
Yep, the clamp.
Yeah, I've known about the clamp. You've talked about the clamp for a decade.
Forever.
But yeah, you don't know this. I talked about it, and Neighbors was like, actually, it's a thing now.
Yeah. Perineum.
You know that?
Sunning your perineum. It's you cast sunlight on your perineum, which is the strip of skin between your ball sack and your anus, and actually gives you all the vitamins that Patrick's trying to get through a pill.
I thought that was called a chode. Isn't that a chode?
Mace, people are really, really doing it.
Yeah.
My idea from really doing how. When did I come up with that idea? Years ago.
Years ago. Yeah, literally like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But for that purpose,
For to get vitamin,
for vitamin
D.
D?
So you spray your asshole cheeks like with my clamp, and that sun directly goes into the asshole, and then
Way
your
ahead of his
asshole
yeah.
will like absorb the sunlight, and you'll get more D right into your anus.
Yeah, when Manolis falls asleep with his asshole clamped open, he gets all kind of D in there.
Damn you, Patrick!
Oh, Patrick won that round.
I walked right into that, Patrick.
Kaboom! Dropped a bomb on it. It's funny because the perineum sunning movement is primarily in L.A. Hello.
Wow.
And it took off, and one of the reasons that it got on the news was because people were showing up in the ER having sunburned their perineum because it's never been exposed to sunlight. So it's not like you can get out there and crank it open and leave it out there for a half hour. And then, so people were showing up with these horrible sunburns. I think they called it hell itch. The real hell itch.
They pulled Manolis's move. They're like, just so you know, my asshole is closing up right now. So,
So put your D away. All right, here we go. Another topic on Friday at 4:20. It's Patrick's turn to pick a number between 1 and 12.
6.
Oh, nice. Not
Not on top.
Not on top though. You're not on top today, pal. Although that joke, that was you won. By the way, for those watching at home, especially if you're a fan of Levity Comedy Club or maybe even a performer at Levity Comedy Club, and you're probably wondering the same thing Mayce was wondering when he first came onto the Zoom call, which was, where did Patrick get that really cool Levity hat? And I just want you to know he had only one made for him.
Yeah, if you want one, too fucking bad.
Yeah, he's putting it up for auction.
Yeah, it's an NFT. There's only one.
You know what? Yeah, Patrick, you also mentioned something earlier before I think we went on the air about Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
You're doing something about Joe Rogan. What is it that you're doing? Because the next question, your question is actually about Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay. I don't know a lot about Joe Rogan, but
Not about him that way.
I finished my Winterfest 3D project, and I was looking for someone else to do, and I thought, I'll do like Joe Rogan's got that cool dome-shaped studio that's all red and stuff, and I'm like, I'll just make one of those in 3D. That'd be cool. So I went on Twitch and started doing that earlier today.
Are you going to send it to him?
Yeah, I guess I'll tweet it to him. I got I don't know how to show it on the screen for the viewers, but I'll send it to you after. It looks pretty cool. It looks just like.
So wait,
it so
what
far.
does he do with it? What do you do?
Nothing.
Like, do you
It's just
pick
a picture? It's just a cool picture. But you can do like like when I did the Levity one, all these people are like, oh, you should do like, I got contacted from people that know somebody that has an in with like metaverse stuff, so like you could do like a 3D comedy club for like virtual reality and stuff. So there is stuff. There are like practical uses for this 3D stuff. So.
What would be the practical use of this thing for Rogan though? Is there one?
Well, nothing unless he just like, I don't know. There could be a metaverse Joe Rogan podcast where he does it in his actual like in a VR version of his studio. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
Or like literally, like we could do that. Like we could be in Joe Rogan's studio and do our own podcast, like in the 3D one that I made.
We make it look like we like broke into Joe Rogan's studio and did a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Us for the win. That'd be fantastic.
That's hilarious.
All right, we're doing that next week. Tune in next week for Friday at 4:20 when our guest will be Joe Rogan's studio.
Yeah.
We have to. We start doing it every week. We're in Joe Rogan's studio every week.
Yeah, we
All
could.
right. Our question, I don't know if you guys, this is as hot as the news headlines, people. So I don't know if you've heard about this, but iconic Canadian singer Neil Young has thrown down with Joe Rogan.
What?
I've seen this.
Joe Rogan has had a number of people on his show who are anti-vaccine, and he believes Neil Young says he's been spreading misinformation. So Neil Young has gone to Spotify to say either you pull Joe Rogan or you take all of my music off of your service.
He said Rogan or Young. But you can't have us both or something.
Can't have us both. So he's making a stand for what he believes in, and he believes in vaccinations, and he believes the misinformation about vaccinations is a problem. So he's taking a stand. So I just want to get your take on this. It's Joe Rogan versus Neil Young. I mean, Neil Young's kind of a iconic rock hero to many. What do you think, Patrick?
Well, I mean, the biggest problem with that would be you fucking take down everything then, because if that's like, if people can't listen to that and come up to their own like, it's like literally anything on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, I can find that misinformation literally anywhere. And I understand the argument here is just like, well, they're paying him and he's on their service. They can choose to not include it, I guess. But how many podcasts are on Spotify where it's just a bunch of people talking bullshit? Who's fact checking all of it? You know what I mean? Just because he's more famous and more listened to, that we should take it down. So, you know, I think maybe there should be like, I don't know, like, cause it's just like anything. Yeah. It's just, he has a guest on, they're talking about stuff. That's what they believe. Like, you know, so I don't know. I think,
you know, there's no right or wrong answer. There's just kind of, you know, what you go with your gut, what you feel. And if you feel like, you know, people have to be able to figure this out for themselves, I think what we're realizing is there's a big problem with people unable to figure some of this stuff out.
I understand completely why it's dangerous that he has that many listeners that will just blindly listen to
11 million a day.
Yeah, and
that's
they'll
huge,
like
man.
take whatever is said on there for gospel, and that's what like he could probably literally start his own little army if he wanted to. Like if he tweeted like, "Hey, on this day we're gonna do this," like millions of people would show up and do it.
I mean, to put it into context, a hit television series in the U.S., like one of the big whatever show you want to name, that gets 10 million viewers a week. He's getting 11 million listeners a day, man. That's like crazy reach.
Like Sopranos in its prime.
But like Spider-Man, with that power comes great responsibility. And I think maybe that's part of what Neil Young's trying to say. Mace, what do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
you want to finish? Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, is that responsibility on him or Spotify, you mean?
It's on him.
Well, because if that's what he believes,
be on the creator.
Yeah, but if that's what he believes, then why would he? He thinks he is doing the right thing, right?
Except we have a whole bunch of other rules. Like, you know, I mean, Joe Rogan, there are rules to what Joe Rogan can say on his show. He won't say other things. He can't attack a minority group and say that everybody should go out and beat them. Like, he can't say things that are, and this could be literally as bad if people are dying because they're not getting the vaccine because they've got misinformation.
Yeah.
Now you literally could be, you're killing people.
Oh, well, we know where you stand on this.
I don't really have an opinion.
Got so passionate about it.
I don't have an opinion on this particular topic. Mace, would you like to tangle? Go at it, boy.
I think take them both off until they talk it out and figure it out.
Also, who the fuck is Neil Young?
Yeah.
He is a little.
He's a doctor.
He's kind of a little bit beyond the pale now. You'd like to see you see them maybe something in the UFC ring?
Well, yeah, exactly. No, I don't know. I'm like I agree with you, Mike, that it's like he has to have some responsibility, but at the same time, I also am like, you know, people like what's better is discussions about it. So I would, I guess, prefer for maybe Neil Young. I don't know. I don't listen to either of them. So I don't know what stuff Joe Rogan is saying, but like maybe there's a means. Neil Young has a big platform. Maybe he can use that to instead talk about the things Joe Rogan is talking about and clear up what he thinks are.
Or maybe you could go on
problems.
Rogan and face.
Go on Rogan.
Exactly. Yeah, something like that. Like, because I do think it's useful to have discussions about ideas that maybe aren't like bad ideas, like I think that it's better to kind of talk about those things.
Let the ideas fight it out in the marketplace.
Exactly.
And then we'll see where we end up. Manolis, what do you want to say, bud?
First of all, is Neil Young some sort of fucking master expert on this shit too? Like that's what that's the problem. And it kind of bugs me that Neil Young's basically trying to censor someone. This is censorship. That's what he's trying to do towards Joe Rogan. And this is like, Neil Young is supposed to be this fucking dippy hippie fucking singing about the fucking farming. I bet she's not an expert on farming either. You know what I'm saying? Like what Like,
Okay. The only thing, just for the right context on this. So Neil Young is not necessarily censoring. Neil Young saying, Spotify, you don't get to make money off my music if you're going to allow this to continue. And that's, you could see it as but he's not saying you have to remove it. He's just saying you have to take my stuff off.
That's called censorship.
For Spotify to do that, then that's saying for certain that what Joe Rogan is saying is wrong, or his guests are saying is wrong. Because but your example before, clearly yes, it's very
here's the thing,
incorrect to say for him to encourage people to beat minorities, right? But I don't think that it's as a distinct thing with this. Right. If he's anti-vaxxer, if he's got guests saying this pandemic's bullshit and the vaccine's this, the vaccine's that, I don't think it's as clear that that's true or not true as the other example.
No, you're absolutely right. Here's
the thing too. If you one time when my dad was before my dad died, actually, obviously before my dad died, he was there's a bunch of information that Joe Rogan was trying to get out there about the COVID on his podcast, and it was him and Bert Kreischer talking. And my dad was around. I'm like, Dad, listen to this. I'm trying to let him hear some shit about what's going on with this fucking vaccine. So my dad, it's like this, he's right beside me here, and we're watching it, and about 2 minutes goes by, and my dad goes like this. He looks at me. He goes, "These two aren't doctors," and he walks away. My dad at 93 years old goes, "These two guys aren't doctors. What the fuck am I listening to these fucking guys for?" And he leaves the room, and I'm like, it hit me. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's right. They're not doctors.
Good point, brother.
You know what? What? Fucking everybody's fucking needs to die at some point, man. You know what?
Yep.
Relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
Absolutely.
Relax, Neil Young. Relax.
Snort some Adderall, buddy. Snort some Adderall and chill.
We're we're all we get rid of Joe Rogan and everybody lives for fucking ever. Is that the fucking plan? Is that the plan, Neil Young? You know what? And how about just make a song that doesn't suck? Fucking Neil Young, you've been boring me from day one.
Oh, he's got some great songs.
What's this? Southern Man.
Yeah.
Everything's feels like it's a fucking soft dick in my asshole. That's what Neil Young.
Wow.
Yeah, give us a hard dick.
Yeah, if I want to get fucked, I want to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ.
Listen, at the very least, even if you don't like Neil Young's Southern Man, you should at least realize that if Southern Man hadn't existed, Leonard Skinner never would have created Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, fucking right.
Which also would have been fine.
First original fucking beef, like a rap beef. It was the first one. Because it was about saying how negative Southern people were, I guess, or racist or something. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, that's what Southern Man was. Yeah.
About and what's the lines I hope Neil Young will remember us Southern Man, we don't need him around anyhow. And right, go fuck yourself. And every show that they did, Leonard Skinner did, he would wear a Neil Young shirt on in concert, and he wrote it in his fucking will, Mace, that he wanted to get buried in a Neil Young t-shirt. And then a couple years after he died, some gravediggers digged his grave up and to see if he was wearing a Neil Young's t-shirt for real.
And was he?
They didn't. I didn't get that answer. No, because it's I saw in the documentary. They don't know. They somehow didn't know that information or wouldn't give it to you. I don't know why.
God. Oh,
that all fucking happened.
Neil Young. Or,
what's that?
What do they? How did they not know? Did they not get to it, or what?
No, they got to it. They digged this grave up, and opened it. But the documentary that I saw, that was 100 craziest moments in rock and roll. I watched that they did that was one of the stories, and they didn't say whether they said it's unclear whether he was wearing the shirt or not, or whether anything happened to it.
Potentially,
that's what they said.
It was under other clothing. They just don't know for sure, so they.
Or maybe they didn't want us to know. But yeah, man, someone did that. But yeah, fuck Neil Young. Did I say that yet?
All right. We can squeeze one more topic in because we want to. I'm going to give it to Mace. Mace, pick me a number Between 1 and 12, not 12, 9, or
3.
Number 3. Let's do number 3 to wrap this episode of Friday at 420 up. We got to find out what's going on here with number 3. Here we go. All right, Mayce, your final topic on Friday at 420. Here we go. What did you want to be when you were 10? You still look like you might just have, that may have been recently.
It was magician and comic book illustrator. Those were the 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You want it to be a triple threat or a double threat.
Yeah,
Yes. Magician and illustrator.
Yeah.
Really, eh? And you actually got pretty good at magic, right? I mean, you spent a lot of time in your teen years perfecting that.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, pretty good. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird because I guess I got good. I got good enough that I'm still good at magic, and I don't want to be. It's like inside of me, and I don't like it. Like I just wish it were out.
Have you ever written that into your comedy act? Have you ever decided to like do a funny magic trick or something? Has that ever crossed your mind?
No, I haven't. I mean, I used it. Well, the transition into comedy was doing comedy magic, which is like just some people do it really well. It's not, but I was not. I was like, it was really.
The comedy was better than the magic.
I don't even know if either was doing well. Like the merge is so weird, and it was like a lot of like pulling you like tie handkerchiefs together and then tuck them in a man's shirt and then pull them out and there's a bra in between and it's like he wears women's underwear is the joke, I guess, is so lame. And
I think no matter what, jokes in magic is like 99% of the time is always lame.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
No one cares about the jokes. They just want to
yeah.
Let me figure out. Show me the trick.
But good narration can be funny. Like the narration along, right? I mean, the narration itself, as opposed to the trick being funny, the narration can be funny as you're executing a trick.
Yeah, no, sure. That's I think the best way that it's done is like a Penn and Teller will do we'll have like what is a good trick, and then also they'll tie it together with like a really interesting narrative. But that is definitely not what I was doing. I was pulling like jokes out of like these pamphlets written in the 80s. It was really really old school and lame. But
Patty Coppolino, what did you want to be when you were 10?
I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I thought they were I didn't know what directors were. I thought they were just called cameramans because I loved I realized that I really liked Titanic when I was a little kid. I was about that age when that came out, and I knew James Cameron directed it, but I thought his name was James Cameraman because I thought he was. So I remember growing up thinking like I want to be Patrick Cameraman when I grow up.
That is awesome.
Oh, man.
It's funny. We were just talking about this the other day because my daughter was probably roughly the same age as you, Patrick, when Titanic came out, and she watched, and it came out on VHS, right? And it was in 2 parts because the movie was so damn long.
Yeah, it was two
VHS tapes. And the first tape ended just as they're about to hit the iceberg. So, and so my lovely daughter, never would watch the second tape. She only
just saw the love story?
Just the love story with Jack and Rose. She never, ever watched the second tape. Never wanted to know about the boat.
Has still never seen it?
She's still never seen it to this day.
So she doesn't know that Jack dies?
Manoli!
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, when you were 10, when you really needed the ADHD medication, what did you want to be?
It's amazing that my life is real. I'll tell you that. My favorite one of my favorite TV shows when I was a kid watching. You ready for this? It was fucking The Fall Guy.
Lee Majors.
Yeah.
Right, and he played a stuntman.
He was a stuntman, and not only was he a stuntman though, right? What else was he doing? Solving crime.
Private Eye.
Right?
Stuntman.
So when he wasn't being a stuntman, he was like off doing like solving cases like the fucking little hobo, right? He definitely wasn't listening to Neil Young, I'll tell you that much. And then so years go by. This is what's problem with me, man. Things just stick with me, right? I go to Mohawk College, take I think it was 2-year general business because I didn't know what else to do with my life. I just finished high school. And I got in. I paid. I'm in there. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I'm sitting like 2 months in, 3 months in. I can't do any of this work. So I say, like, fuck it. So one day I say to this guy, fuck it, I'm out of here. He's like, what do you mean you're out of here? I'm out of here. I'm leaving. You're not coming back? I'm like, no. He goes, what are you doing? What are you going to do? And I swear to God, I said this to him. I go, I'm going to go become a stuntman. And I left. And then I found a course and took a course to become a stuntman. I took a 6 months course on how to learn how to be a stuntman. I paid like $1,000. I got a diploma, and then did nothing with it. Did nothing. I realized it was a scam. After I was done, I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking official. I learned how to fake fight and fake fall and fake flip, and then realized there was no work out there because I'm like, what the? You have to be hooked up to some shit.
Got the
it was a real
stuntman
course.
diploma.
I have Patrick has seen the diploma.
It's true.
What?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's real. But what didn't we decipher that it was like printed in some guy's living room?
Oh, it's so. It's definitely like the guy just bought the diploma shit and just filled it out and like it's. Dude, I spent
yeah, like you can't get a job with it.
Yeah, I was like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah, $1,000 piece of paper.
Can you do the stunts now, Manolis?
Yeah, can you fall?
Yeah,
it's nothing. Yeah.
Did you actually do any
fall
training?
against my will?
Yeah, they just taught us how to like. Okay, if it's a war movie and and there's an explosion, you gotta jump and then you gotta put your hands up and you roll on your back and blah blah. And how to make it all real. It's like I could teach the class everything in like 10 minutes, but I was 21 and young and dumb and just stupid enough like. Fucking, I thought, I'm gonna be a fucking stuntman. I honestly, to my saving grace, I wasn't going to eventually solve crime too. I just wanted to be a stuntman, but I gave up that dream really quickly.
Is that how you got into background work?
I started doing background work through that, and then stopped because I'm like, I got a gig, and I went to it because they gave you a background agent. I realized
and you thought you were a stuntman.
Yeah, I thought I was a stuntman. I'm like, where's the stunts? And I'm just there. Doing background work.
Where's
I'm like,
the
I need you to walk from here to here. You know,
when did the explosion go off?
Yeah, it was such bullshit, dude. A Gino. Someone even told me like, this is a scam. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm gonna be. A lot of those.
You know what? And back then there were a lot of those. We'll teach you right back in the newspaper. We'll teach you 3-week course, 5-week course, and a lot of them were scams. So, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We got to go around the horn, find out what's going on. Mace, when are we? What's coming up next for you? What are you doing, buddy?
Not much. Doing a debaters soon, I guess, but I don't know if they're selling tickets for that. I don't know how it works, but.
Will you be coming back? You'll be coming back to that's a live in studio kind of appearance thing.
Yeah, so they do a live show. It's in Vancouver, but I don't know. I don't have any details, to be honest.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye out for that, Mace. In the meantime, enjoy lovely LA.
Thank you.
Just say hi to your girlfriend. She's a lovely person too.
I will.
All right. We'd love to have her back on as well. Actually, the fun. We had a lot of fun with the two of you on one time. So.
Yeah, I think she would love to do it. I'll
arrange to do that another time.
Awesome.
All right. Stay safe, my friend. Manolis, what do you got to say for yourself?
I don't know, man. I'm just hanging in there, bro. You know what I mean? I'm taking it day by day. I'm working on. I have a new comedy album that's done editing. I just got to do some sort of fucking photo shoot with it, and then I'll have it out maybe in a month or less. So hopefully, Mace. Maybe you can listen to my new album, and
I would love to do that.
And it's like, I'm trying to figure out the name, but Patrick's going to do it too. I'm just really bad at naming tracks, you know? I just go for, like, I have a joke about blowjobs. I'm just like, blowjob. I'm like,
the track list of the album is like blowjob, anal, drugs.
Drugs, blowjob, put stuff up my nose.
And we'll call the album Vocabulary. All right. Well, we look forward to whenever that project's put together.
That's so cool.
Yeah, no, that's very cool, man. We're looking forward to you getting that all tidied up, Manolis, and then maybe some of the pressure will be lifted. You won't have to do other people's medications anymore. Patty, what we're on the verge, aren't we? I'm looking at what are we, like 7 days out from them opening the whole thing up?
Who knows? I'm getting a job at Pixar and leaving comedy in the dust. I think that's what I'm doing.
Got my hat and I'm going home.
Yes, we're very close, actually. A week tomorrow we'll be open. February 2nd we'll be open for amateur night. And then that weekend we've got Mark Anthony Synagoga. Jason Allen's going to be on that show. Manolis and myself will be there. And then we've got shows booked till like the end of March as of right now, pending nothing crazy happens. But we'll be part of Winterfest and stuff as well. So.
And 50% capacity when it opens, right?
Yes, for the first 3. I think they said 3 weeks between changes. So yeah, for at least the first month or so.
LevityComedyClub.com to get your tickets for any and all of those shows. You'll definitely want to get them ahead of time so you can make sure there's room for you at Levity Comedy Club. And if you're the very first person to leave this broadcast and go there and buy a ticket, he'll give you the one hat he has.
No, I won't do that actually, but I'll order you one.
I'll order you one.
You'll want a fresh one, anyways. I've seen his hats.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for another great round of Friday at 420. But most of all, thank you for watching Friday at 420, for sharing it, liking it, and going back to the streaming services and finding other episodes of our little Friday at 420, the little show that really couldn't. Thank you again. And until we get a chance to talk to you again in 7 days, take it easy.
Woo.
Woo.